Wheels of Wisdom. It was a quiet morning in Greenacres, the small village nestled between the hills, where young Tom, a new farmer, stood staring at a field of freshly plowed dirt. His hands were dirty, his boots were heavy, and his head felt heavier. He'd just been scolded again by his grumpy boss, Mr. Hawthorne, for messing up the irrigation system. "Tom," Mr. Hawthorne shouted as he stormed off to the barn. "How many times do I have to tell you? You can't just throw water on the plants like you're giving them a bath. If you don't start using your brain, you're going to be out of here faster than a goat on a hot day." Tom, sighing, slouched down on the fence. "I'm trying my best, Mr. Hawthorne," he muttered to no one in particular. "But I just don't get it." That's when he heard a voice. A low, mechanical hum that startled him. "Trying your best? Huh. If that's your best, then we're all in trouble, buddy." Tom jumped, looking around. There was nobody there. Just the field, the barn, and the tractor parked nearby. He squinted at the old, rusty tractor and blinked. Did it just talk? The tractor revved its engine in greeting. "Yep, I'm talking to you. Name's Oliver. You look like you could use a little help around here. Trust me, I know farming better than most." Tom blinked again. Did you just talk? To me?" Oliver let out a mechanical chuckle. "Did you think I was just here to look pretty? I may be old and rusty, but I'm still the most knowledgeable machine on this farm. You want to learn how to farm properly, kid? You've come to the right place." Tom stared at the tractor in disbelief. "You're a tractor, and you want to teach me how to farm?" "Well, of course I do," Oliver replied with a proud hum. "I've been plowing fields since you were probably in diapers. I know everything from crop rotation to composting. And if you keep messing up like this, you'll be out of a job before you can even grow a tomato." Tom scratched his head. "Mr. Hawthorne's been yelling at me all week. I don't think I'm cut out for this whole farming thing." "Well, lucky for you," Oliver said with a grumble. "I'm here to make sure you don't get kicked to the curb. Listen up, kid. I've got more farming knowledge in my gears than most people have in their entire heads. Just follow my instructions, and you'll be a pro in no time." Tom hesitated, then shrugged. "All right, what do I do first?" "First things first," Oliver said, revving his engine dramatically. "You're going to need to learn how to plow properly. That's the foundation of farming. You can't just throw seeds into the ground and hope for the best. That's like trying to build a house without a foundation." Tom nodded. "Okay, but how do I do that?" Oliver rolled his eyes. "Oh, you're really gonna make me do all the work, huh? Fine. Let's get this over with. First, you drive me into the field, nice and slow. Then, you make sure the plow is in the ground, straight as an arrow. Don't go zigzagging all over the place like a chicken on a caffeine high." Tom climbed into the tractor's seat, hands trembling a little. He started the engine, but the tractor immediately rumbled to life, louder than Tom expected. "Easy there, cowboy," Oliver said. "You don't need to race me across the field. You've got all day. Just take it slow." Right, Tom muttered, gripping the wheel. He pressed the gas pedal gently, and the tractor slowly moved forward. "Perfect. You're doing great. Now, keep it steady," Oliver instructed. "This is how you plow a straight line. You focus on that horizon ahead, like you're heading straight for it. If you let your mind wander, you'll end up plowing circles around yourself." Tom focused, trying to ignore his growing sense of panic. "Okay, I think I'm getting the hang of this. I just follow the line, right?" "Exactly. Look at you. You're already smarter than you were 5 minutes ago. Just don't overthink it. Plowing isn't about speed, it's about precision. You want to make sure every row is perfect. Not too deep, not too shallow. Just right." Tom grinned, feeling a little proud of himself. "I'm starting to feel like I can do this." Oliver chuckled. "Oh, trust me, you've got a long way to go, kid. But you're getting there. You'll be the best farmer in this village in no time. And if you keep listening to me, you'll actually make Mr. Hawthorne proud. Which, honestly, is a miracle in itself." "I'll take that as a compliment," Tom said, feeling more confident now. They worked for hours, plowing row after row of soil. Oliver kept talking, giving Tom tips on how to keep the tractor in good shape, the importance of soil health, and even random stories from his past. Tom listened intently, his head starting to fill with knowledge. So, Oliver said after a while, what else do you want to know? Tom thought for a moment. Well, Mr. Hawthorne keeps telling me that I need to water the crops properly, but I keep messing it up. What's the secret? Oliver let out a long sigh. Irrigation. The one thing people think is easy, but it's actually a science. You can't just throw a hose out there and call it a day. You need to know when to water, how much to water, and, this is the most important part, where to water. Where? Tom asked. Don't you water everywhere? No. You can't just drown your crops like they're drowning in a pool. Each crop needs its own kind of care. Tomatoes? They like their feet wet but not soggy. Corn? They need a good deep soak every few days. And don't even get me started on the beans. Beans are the drama queens of the farm. They need exactly 1.5 inches of water every 3 days. Anything more, and they'll start sulking and not grow properly. Tom's eyes widened. Beans are drama queens? Oh, you have no idea. Trust me, they're the worst, Oliver said with a laugh. But once you get the hang of it, you'll be watering like a pro. All right, Tom said, absorbing the information. I think I can do this. Of course you can, Oliver said proudly. Now, the next step in farming, picking the right time to plant. You can't just throw seeds in the ground whenever you feel like it. You've got to know the seasons, the moon, the soil temperature. It's all about timing. Tom frowned. The moon? Oliver gave a dramatic sigh. You'd be surprised. Farmers have been planting by the moon for centuries. The full moon is the best time to plant crops like carrots and peas. I know it sounds ridiculous, but it works. Trust me. Just ask any old farmer around here. Tom shook his head in disbelief. You're telling me the moon controls when I plant things? Yep. You got it. And don't even get me started on the soil temperature. You want to make sure the soil is warm enough for the seeds to sprout. Cold soil is like a bed with no blankets. It's just not a good place to start. Tom rubbed his forehead. Okay. I think I'm starting to get it. I'm gonna have to keep track of all this stuff, huh? Oliver chuckled. It's not that hard once you've got it down. And hey, if you ever get confused, just ask me. I'm practically a farming encyclopedia. A very talkative, loud, and slightly rusty farming encyclopedia, but an encyclopedia nonetheless. Tom couldn't help but laugh. All right, Oliver, I'll try to remember all that. They worked the rest of the day, with Oliver guiding Tom through every task, from fertilizing to pest control. By the end of it, Tom felt like a completely different person. His head was spinning with all the knowledge he had gained, and for the first time since he started, he felt confident about his future as a farmer. A few weeks later, Mr. Hawthorne walked out into the field, ready to scold Tom for yet another mistake. But when he saw the neat rows of plants, the perfectly watered crops, and the healthy soil, he stopped in his tracks. Tom, he said slowly, his face scrunching up in confusion. What happened? Tom, standing proudly by the tractor, smiled. I learned from the best, Mr. Hawthorne. Oliver revved his engine proudly. That's right. I taught him everything he knows. I'm like the Yoda of farming, but with wheels. Mr. Hawthorne blinked, then chuckled. Well, I'll be. Looks like I might have underestimated you, Tom. You actually did it. Tom grinned. Yeah, I guess I did. And I couldn't have done it without my teacher, Oliver. The old tractor hummed with pride. Ain't no farm task too big for me, kid. With me by your side, you'll be the best farmer in Green Acres. And with that, Tom knew that with a little help from his talkative tractor, he was well on his way to becoming the smartest farmer in the village. The end? Or should we say, the beginning?